It's really difficult to achieve this goal when we have this urban challenge that's happening around us and that most everybody knows about it, which is the population growth, and associated with that is the urban growth. As you can see by these two charts, we have the population of the world growing to over 9 or 10 billion people by the year 2050. At the same time, the pattern of this growth is really very interesting, because as we began our 50s of the last 20th century with a relative division between rural and urban areas between 70 and 30, so 70 being rural on the red curve and 30 being urban at the blue curve, we have the pattern switching, as you can see, and moving from a totally rural society to a predominantly urban society. 2050 is going to be predominantly urban. Actually, by 2050, cities will be home to about 80% of the world population. Imagine this, 80% living the same way we are living today. Now, how sustainable is that going to be? Is it going to be something like this? Where is this going to happen? Well, these sequence of charts will give you an idea. In the 50s, they were predominantly urban in the United States, India, and China. By the turn of the millennium, they were in the United States, Mexico, Brazil, India, and China. And by 2050, this is how it's going to look like. So you're going to have a jumping of urban metropolis and urban megapolis all over the world, just bursting. How was our approach to adopting or trying to face this challenge? Of course, we all know that since 1987, the Brundtland Commission has been established, and they first echoed or coined the term sustainability. And since that time, we've gone through a sequence of conferences by the UN, the World Summit, the Rio Plus 20, and so on. And it seems that every time we put a series of goals, that somehow we don't achieve many of them, and that we have to put a new list and new goals, and the cycle goes on. We're going to begin where they ended. In 2016, the last list of goals is the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which replaced the 2008 Millennium Development Goals. Out of these 17 goals, I'm going to look at just 2 of them, which are of interest to my research area. The first one is number 11, Sustainable Cities and Communities, and number 15, which is Life on Land. 11 states that make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. Very good objective. Number 15, on the other hand, talks about life on land, and it says that protect, restore, promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems, sustainably manage forests, combat desertification, and most importantly, halt and reverse the land degradation and halt biodiversity loss. These 2 goals are very essential from an urban context that's facing all the challenges I'm talking about, and this is why it's important to have a look at about the particular factors that control urban growth and shape our cities. That's an example of present-day Rio de Janeiro in the favela areas, which shows exactly what I'm talking about, the clear dichotomy and the clear disparity between densities in the same urban context, the high density in the background and the low density of the foreground. The UAE, the United Arab Emirates, has done a great deal and has made leapfrog achievements in that regard. The State of the Green Economy in 2017, and its focus on sustainable city, and conferences such as these and the great achievements by Alim and Dr. Rashid are very rewarding and promising. A plan for the Abu Dhabi for 2030 is also focusing on sustainability in urban dimensions. In that section 2.2, it has a number of goals, of which the interest is on this one. It talks about the intrusion of development into key natural areas.